Hey beautiful buddies, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this vlog. I'm going to show you guys a day in my life as a mental health counselor and burst a few therapy myths for you guys. I have a few things to arrange on my shelf. So I got these baskets from Komonoya. I'm going to be arranging like a few activities in there to organize on my sunshine shelf. I got these tiny baskets. One of them I'm going to be using it for organizing my basic stationeries for daily use. So if there's one thing that I usually like doing is cutting the A4 papers into A5. As you guys can see, they're like different colors. So what I usually do with these papers are that I use them for journal prompts sometimes I use them for art purposes. So they're basically multi-purpose sheets for now. It's around quarter to 12 right now. Let me just show you guys a little bit of what I've been doing. So far, as you guys can see, the wall has changed. I've taken out a few posters behind here because I'm going to be doing something completely different here. I was designing a few things for this wall. Let me just show you where these things went. But before that, let me just show you a little bit of some how it works, as you know, a little bit of what it is to be a school counselor and the things that I've been preparing for the day. So I needed to get these sheets printed because so what happens is that I usually take these papers whenever I go for like observations in classes and I need like the teachers to sign as evidence. And I was also preparing for in-class interventions, so I did get like a few things printed. Some of these are from last year. Interventions are the ones that I was doing last year with my students, but this time we're going to be having a little bit more that are still getting printed. I still don't have them with me. Basically sorting out my file and how I'll be organizing the reports, the student reports, my own reports, and things like that, and a few of like activity samples that I needed to organize in my file, reorganize in my file. I'm also going to be having mindful cube coloring with the students. So how this works is, as you guys can see, it's a math book, but we're turning this into an activity. We're turning this book into activity papers. So how that's going to work is, you guys can see, there are these tiny squares. So how it works is each student is going to get like one piece of paper and they have to color mindfully on each of these squares. So one color each square mindfully. Okay, so as you know, it's going to take time for them to actually complete the whole paper, and that's the whole point, because they need to calm, relax, and like focus. This also helps them increase their focus in class, and hopefully this might calm their nervous system as well. So this is a good practice. If you're a parent, you could do this at home as well. Currently, there's a lot going on my table because I've been like organizing and reorganizing and, you know, sorting a few activities out and things like that. So we might want to ignore that part, but how about we look at the pretty part, right? So this is where I've placed the posters for today. Instead of throwing them, I thought of reusing them, and I've rearranged these stations for now. So we have the seedling station, we have the sprout station, and we have express and emerge. Each of these stations have their own different activities to do. So I've rearranged them this time, and they're going to be facing the wall to do the activities. And then we have this sunshine shelf. So over here I'm going to be placing all the files for reports and my own files for other things. And then we have these activities that boosts a child's mental growth, as well as it helps regulate their nervous system. This is a whole creative bloom bar. As you guys can see, there are lots of creative art activities to do with the students here. I've currently placed a few books here. We're going to get more mental health related books soon. These are the baskets that I'm going to be filling up with the printed activities and more is coming. So as you guys can see, since the theme is sunflower, we have a few sunflowers stuck on the shelves to bring that vibe. And here we have a blooming box. So currently we only have one drawer sorted out, where we're going to be, this drawer is for inspiration. So they're going to be picking up a cheat for a message or an affirmation sheet from here whenever they feel like it. And these other drawers will be filled up with other activities that are yet to be printed again and created for the students. And this here is the wall of emotions. As you guys know, that experiencing all of these emotions is very normal, so we need to normalize that with the students as well. And then we have this section here to just pause and grow, calm, meditate for the students in case they need it, or sometimes they just need a moment to themselves and, like just relax. We're stimulated the whole day. This is just the perfect section for them. The main agenda was to get a few things printed, reorganize the office and add a few elements, and I was mostly working on Canvas for like upcoming activities and interventions and more things to actually print out for the academic year. So more of my printouts came for my wall. As you guys can see, it's all sunflower. We're cutting that right now. We're getting it all cut so we can stick it on the wall. So the printouts for the intervention activities are here. The interventions are mainly color art-based activities because that's like the easiest to do in like a classroom, but we just have like different designs that we have printed out, and now we're cutting them and making them into A5 sizes. It's finally lunchtime, guys. Can't wait to dig in. So I ordered some sekela, stir-fried veggies with watermelon juice. It's around 3:20 p.m. right now, and I feel so tired. Like, I'm so tired, I'm not gonna lie. As you guys can see, the back of my wall is kind of changing right now. I was supposed to burst a few myths for you guys. How about we start with that right now? Very first myth is people thinking that therapists have perfect lives. That is the biggest lie, because we're humans too. We have our own challenges. We have our own struggles. I don't know why people think that therapists just never experience mental illness, or they do not have any, emotional or mental challenges. We do, because we go through life. Life takes a toll on us in different ways as well. So we do experience emotional and mental challenges. What do we do when we experience that? Either we go for therapy, or we take a break from counseling, or we just take a break in general, or find ways to rejuvenate ourselves and unwind for the next. How's this, guys? This is another quote that will be somewhere here. So myth number 2 is people thinking that therapy is only for serious mental illnesses. That's not true. Sometimes you could be very confused in your life, or sometimes you probably need a mental health checkup. You come for counseling, therapy, whatever you call it, you come in for that. That's where it starts. You don't have to go through something very severe to consider going to therapy. If you're experiencing any challenges emotionally, mentally, you start going to therapy for that before it gets severe. Myth number 3, therapists just give advices. That is not true, because if that were to work, it would definitely work with your parents or guardians, because I'm sure they do that enough for you guys. How it actually works with therapy is that it's more than advices. We help you explore yourselves. We help you explore the mental and emotional challenges that you're going through. You're going to encounter, thoughts and emotions that will help you grow as a person. That's literally one of the main aim and objective to coming to therapy. It's not getting it all in just a session. If that was the case, then people wouldn't be coming in for like 8 to 6 sessions. Therapy is a process. It's not something that will work overnight, because when you're coming in for therapy, you're probably traumatized or stressed. At least most of the time, the cases that I get are in severe level. I hardly get something that's like very mild and it's not severe. It's usually to a level where someone has tolerated a lot, or they've gone through way too many things. They've gone through a lot before they actually speak up. So if it has taken you 5 years maybe to experience that specific trauma or to live with that trauma, what makes you think one therapy session would actually help that out? So sometimes you really, not sometimes, most of the time, you actually need to come in for like more than just one session to help your mental and emotional challenges, to help the challenges that you're actually experiencing in your life. So I changed this, and I decided to cut it in like a round shape because it's too much of like square, a little bit different. I'm generally so tired, but there's like a lot of work to be done. And we only have like 30 minutes till we clock out. So this right here was the vision of the wall, and let me show you how the wall turned out to be. And this is what the wall looks like so far. It's actually incomplete. I am not done with it, but so far this is what it looks like. In this section, I was here, I'm gonna add like a plain white manila or like yellow, and the students that will be coming in for like sessions or just for a chit chat would be writing a message down or doing something very creative on that manila. I'm done with my gym session. I did cardio today. So next is a counseling session. I'm having a client over right now, and this place looks closed. So the first cafe that I went to is apparently closed, and it's so not their closing day. I don't know what's happening. I am rushing to some other cafe right now to get my counseling session done with my client. So here we go. I believe it's going to be a great session. Hey beautiful buddies, so I have reached the cafe right now for an appointment. I'm just waiting for my client. She's on the way. The evening traffic in Dar is crazy these days. Like, it's crazy. I was on the road for like 30 minutes from a place that usually takes me like 5 minutes or 10, not even 10 minutes with like a car to reach. And it took me 30 minutes today. That's how bad the traffic is around these hours. Let's talk a little bit about my counseling sessions before my client comes in. So how does it work? Number one, DM me on EmotionX or WhatsApp me on the provided number down below. And then from there, we're going to discuss when you want to meet. Okay, I'm going to give you my available time slots and days that I'm available. And you're going to choose your time, your date, your location. Okay, and then after that, I am going to send you this policy contract. Okay, and then after sending me that message, I am going to send you this confidentiality terms and conditions form where you'll have to read the terms and conditions and sign. I just finished up with my client right now.